Hello everyone. I am Ashima Mahajan and I have secured rank 287 in UPSC CSE 2016. This was my fourth attempt and I was not able to clear prelims also in my very three previous attempts. So this journey has been a very long one, but indeed a beautiful one, and I'm very blessed. So, starting with the whole thing, my story and my strategy for this exam, let me begin with my brief introduction to you so that you can all connect with me. So, I I have done my engineering in electrical and electronics in the year 2012, and in the very same year in 2012, I had given my first attempt for this examination. So that was a very half prepared attempt, and I was not able to clear the prelims also that time, and I failed it because it was a very not so prepared as an attempt. And after that, but that attempt gave me a vision for the future that yes, I have to attempt this exam in future and I can do it. And the very next month, I got a placement with Accenture Mumbai, and I worked there for another 1.5 years. एंड जब वहाँ मुझे लगा कि मेरी ग्रोथ एकदम स्टैग्नेटेड हो चुकी है और कोई स्कोप नहीं है आगे एंड आई वाज नॉट एंजॉयिंग दैट वर्क सो मच सो आई थॉट to come back and prepare and give a full-time preparation for this exam. So I came back to Delhi in the year 2014 and I started my preparation journey. So when I started my preparation journey, I had taken simultaneous coachings for GS and also my optional. And I did not realize in that very year that I have missed on the time for self-assessment and self-analysis. I was so dependent on the coachings that I had that time that my whole year went in the very direction that they gave me. And I missed on the opportunity to analyze myself, to give myself a little time, and to see things where I lagged, where am I good at, or where am I comfortable. तो वो मेरे साथ हुआ ही नहीं and again when I attempted in 2014 I failed prelims. So when after that I thought it's better to study at home. I came back home. I gave myself some 1 month or so to realize and analyze what have gone wrong all through the while in my preparation, and I studied at home. I did my self study. I took various internet platforms, internet resources, and I polished my material and I consolidated my stuff. I read books which I was comfortable in reading. I built up my own strategy for various subjects, made my own book list from where I have to read what and where I do not have to read certain things. So that is how I built my strategy in that very year. But again, what I missed on in that year was that I again did not practice any tests for prelims. And there I think I lagged. I faltered on the negative marking that was there, and I failed miserably in that prelims. And then I realized I had only solved previous year's question papers, and I thought that this was enough for the prelims. It might come very easy to few, but सबको इतनी आसानी से सब कुछ नहीं मिलता है. You have to work hard and you do not have to leave anything for this exam. आपको हर तरीके से experiment और explore करना ही पड़ेगा to move ahead. So in that case, what I realized after 2015, I was very disheartened again because that was my third attempt. And when I was disheartened, I thought of taking plan A, plan B, where will my career go, etc. Thoughts did came to my mind. And then I planned that why not to have a study circle in Agra when I was in Agra. So I thought that building up a study circle will also help me to teach those aspirants who are looking forward for this exam, and also it will keep me on track and I will not get distracted. So I built up a very positive way out for myself, and I looked for students who could be benefited by me also. But again, coming to Agra and coming from a place in Agra, not much of coaching is there, not much of awareness is there people that do approached me, they were basically from Hindi background and I could not help them much. So I realized that लोग इतना भागते हैं, इतना ढूंढते हैं, but in the end they do not realize that all this can be done by themselves also if they put in a little bit of efforts. आप कोई और आपको उतने अच्छे से नहीं समझता या जानता जितने अच्छे से आप खुद को जानते हो. तो it is better to put your hard work and efforts before running to various places and finding an easy way out. You're wasting your time there. So I got one student that was also a beautiful turn in my journey. I got her and I taught her and I could help her through this exam. And all through this while, I did not come to know that I was also going on a very right track. I was also preparing in the whole journey. My preparation got a little polished, it got a little channelized all through the while. And I became so positive in my journey at that point of time that I was ready to give another wholehearted attempt. And I started, I think in January I started to build up my full potential, and I started with mains and prelims both. So whatever part that was not a part of prelims, like world history, ethics, and some of the topics which are not part of prelims, I prepared those first. Also optional was one biggest thing to prepare that time. And then after January, February, March, when I prepared those things, uh, then in March, I took whole time preparation for prelims. So April, May, June, July was only dedicated to prelims, where I revised my consolidated stuff, whatever notes I had made, whatever book lists that I had followed, I revised that. And also what I did was I practiced around 60 to 70 tests. So practicing those 60 to 70 tests gave me such confidence that it just channelized my knowledge. Also, coming back to this point, I would say that practicing tests is not a test of your knowledge, first of all. It is a way only to increase your knowledge. It is a way to channelize your knowledge. See, you are studying so much of so many things in the course of this exam. तो आपको कहीं तो एक सीधा रास्ता निकालना पड़ेगा ना, जहाँ आपकी नॉलेज चैनलाइज हो रही है, जहाँ आपको पता चल रहा है कि आपको क्या पढ़ना है, क्या इम्पोर्टेंट है, क्या इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है. एंड दिस इज द मोस्ट गुड वे टू डू इट. सो डू नॉट टेक दीज टेस्ट टू हार्ट कि आप स्कोर नहीं कर पा रहे हो या आपका स्कोर कम हो रहा है. डीमोटिवेट मत हो इन टेस्ट से. दीज आर ओनली अ वे टू चैनलाइज योर नॉलेज, एंड ये आपकी नॉलेज को इंक्रीज ही करते हैं. एंड दैट इज व्हाट हेल्प्ड मी. दे गिव मी so much of a confidence that while I was sitting in a prelims, while I was sitting in that prelims of 2016, it was just like I was solving another test. So that calm, that positivity came through such practice. So practicing anything is very important in the whole course of time. Then when the results were declared and I got through prelims finally in my fourth attempt and the very first time, I had only 3 months to prepare for mains, and I started with mains. I gave my I think 5 to 6 hours to my optional every day, and the other hours to GS. And what one thing helped me in the course of mains was the constant writing practice. Writing practice, taking tests, and taking those tests very sincerely and very timely. Some people, what they do is that they take tests either after the whole preparation or either just one day after the other. That is not helpful because you are not going to improve by that. You need to take time, you need to analyze yourself. Like one test when you've given, you get the feedback, you get the result, you know what you've done. So you analyze that thing, and in the next test you try to improve that thing. And over the course of these tests, I realized that my speed, my writing, the way of articulation, everything has improved. So I wrote I think 11 tests with GS and 11 tests for optionals. Plus I wrote some 6 essays for this exam before mains. So all this writing practice helped me in this exam to get pass through this exam. And coming now onto optional, uh, what I would suggest is why I took public administration as my optional was that I was earlier only inclined towards the optional. मेरा इंटरेस्ट बहुत पहले से था इस ऑप्शनल के साथ. मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि ये सब्जेक्ट है जो कि एक ब्रिज है बिटवीन द सर्विसेज एंड मी. इट गिव्स मी अ ब्रॉडर इंसाइट अबाउट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन वेयर आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू वर्क इन. तो मुझे लगा कि ये बहुत सही सब्जेक्ट है टू पिक अप. And I picked this subject because of my interest. So first suggestion in this regard would be, please choose your optional very wisely, because optional holds a lot of importance. It creates a lot of a difference in your marks in the final list. And also you should choose your optional based on your own interest. You should believe in that and you should be comfortable reading that optional instead of just going blindly by what is there in the market and what are the opinions of other people. I think you should take your own decision, because every person has a different strategy, different approach, different potential, different choice. So just go by what you think is right for you. And when I made a choice for this optional, I came to know when I saw the syllabus that this subject is covering half of the syllabus of GS also. It helped me very much in GS1, GS2, GS3, and especially GS4 ethics. So this subject not only covers this only subject, but it helps you in other GS papers as well. So you get acquainted with your political history, your economic history, and as well as ethics also. So there it made a very big difference. Also, reading through this optional, I realized that it has so much of dynamics in it that it keeps you on toes. So it will keep you on toes in a manner that you will always be ready to take current affairs into notice, take current events into notice, and put those in your notes wherever they are relevant. So that is, it helps you to keep yourself updated with whatever is going around, whatever is happening, and it keeps you updated with all those facts. And what I realized all through the time was in 2014 and 15 when I took this optional and I was studying it, मैं भी बहुत डर जाती थी जब लोग मुझे बोलते थे कि 2014 और 15 में इस ऑप्शन ने नहीं किया है, क्या होगा और how will it go around. But somewhere down the line I believed in my preparation and my approach towards this subject and I loved it. So it definitely gave justice to me. And please do not go by the blind opinions and the myths that are there in the market, that अगर इस optional ने इस बार ज़्यादा score किया है तो ये आप ले लीजिए, because you never know next time वो उतना ही score करेगा कि नहीं करेगा. So it really in the end depends on you, how hard you put your efforts to it, what you read, and how thorough you are with that. So instead of wasting your time in calculating and analyzing that what will be, which one will score better for you, I think put your efforts to in reading that optional that well, that it works for you. Next, coming on to the book list and the resources that I refer to, especially for public administration. I had consolidated my stuff all through these years, and what I read basically was Pawan sir's notes. I had taken coaching from him in 2014, where I had written all the running notes from his classes, and I kept on updating it in the years 2015 and 16 through market. Also, what I followed was his printed materials, especially 14th Finance Commission, Punchi Commission, Sarkaria Commission, ARC summaries. These all helped me to jot down points, and they were ready to make points. So what one strategy you can take down from here is, every topic needs some 7 to 8 points. So please prepare them prior only, so that what you need to do is, just whenever you see the topic or whenever you see that the topic is related to, the question is related to the topic, you can very well collect those points and put it in your answer and articulate them. So that helps. The third thing that I looked upon was Aribam. Both for paper 1 and paper 2, I had studied Aribam. Aribam book really helps. I had studied it very thoroughly. I had revised it many times. And fourthly, what I did was current affairs and internet sources. Whatever topic required any extra research, I had done from there. Also, I had, for thinkers, especially for thinkers in paper 1, I had looked upon to Prasad and Prasad. I had made my own consolidated notes from there. And coming back to this, these resources are too wide. So you have to select and you have to experiment, you have to explore these resources. Please keep these resources open to yourself, because what might be simple to me might not be simple to you. So in the end, it is your basic judgment and your comfort कि आपको क्या अच्छा लगता है और आप किस तरीके से comfortable है, क्योंकि there is no dearth of material in the market, बहुत सारा available है, हर तरीके का available है, but choose wisely what you are reading. So that is one thing that I would like to suggest. Also, coming down to the very important leg of the preparation, that is answer writing and test series. Again, telling you, choosing a thing, studying it thoroughly is a part of a journey, but answer writing and test series are the essential part and the very important part that decides your result. So I think what one should do is, even if they are not enrolling in the test series, because सबको इतना affordable नहीं होता, सबके पास इतना time and जगह भी consider करनी पड़ती है, तो in that case it's not necessary that you have to join any test, but at least practice on your own. Wherever you are, at home, in coaching, or in any other place, practice answer writing. Take any question, write answers. You will not realize when you are improving on those answers. Trust me. So practice them. आपको नहीं पता चलेगा कि पहला आंसर कैसे लिखना है, लेकिन आप जैसे अटेम्प्ट करते जाएंगे आपको पता चलता जाएगा what a question requires and how an answer has to be formed. So do not get scared. शुरू कीजिए. शुरुआत बहुत ज़रूरी होती है. हम लोग पहले ही डर जाते हैं कि होगा क्या, कैसे होगा, क्या लिखना है, कैसे करना है, बिकॉज दीज थॉट्स केम टू मी ऑल्सो. मैंने भी बहुत स्ट्रगल किया है इन थॉट्स के साथ, लेकिन जब मैंने शुरू किया उसके बाद चीज़ें अपने आप ही फ्लो में आती गई, एंड आई डिड नॉट रियलाइज व्हेन आई एम इम्प्रूविंग इन ऑल थ्रू द टाइम. So do not worry about all these things, and just start with your preparation and start practicing. That is important. Also, I had done answer writing practice with Pavan sir in 2014 and 15, and in 2016, when finally I cleared prelims and I got the opportunity to write mains for the first time, I joined Lukman's IS for public administration, and I wrote some about 11 tests with him. But those tests were very timely, they were very strictly done, and I was doing them very sincerely. So I did not miss on to any test, I did not miss on to any discussion that happens about after the test, so that helped me somewhere. So what next I would like to suggest is that what benefits do you get after doing and attempting these tests is that, first of all, you improve, you know how to attempt in the final exam. Secondly, you get to know what are you lacking, where you have to improve, so that is very important. And thirdly, sometimes we miss some topics while in our preparation. So every time I used to attempt a test, every time I used to face some new topics, some new questions, and I used to get prepared for that. So basically I was getting prepared for the worst also at the same time. So that gave me confidence to attempt easy questions very easily and tough questions with very calm and with very composed manner. Also, the answer discussions and the model answers that they give after the tests is very important. That helped me channelize my knowledge again, as it did in prelims. मुझे हमेशा नए points पता चलते थे for the answers. Discussions में different parameters और जुड़ जाते थे, और मैं उनको एक जगह कलेक्ट करके रखती जाती थी, so that I could revise them before mains, and I did revise them before mains, and it was very helpful also. So that is one thing that I would suggest regarding tests. Now coming on to answer writing के लिए, I think the best way to write answers we all know, and writing a introduction, body, and conclusion. But what is more important is the connection between these three things. That helps build an articulation for an answer. आप अपने introduction को जब लिखते हैं तो ऐसे लिखना है कि वो question से connect हो सके, एंड जब वो इंट्रोडक्शन आप लिखते हैं तो बॉडी ऐसी लिखनी है कि वो पॉइंट्स जो हैं आपके प्रूफ करते हो जो आपसे क्वेश्चन में पूछा गया हो, एंड कंक्लूजन जस्टिफाइज द अबव टू, दैट इज योर बॉडी एंड योर इंट्रोडक्शन. तो एक कनेक्शन होना चाहिए बिटवीन द थ्री थिंग्स. दैट इज हाउ अ कंप्लीट एंड अ होलसम आंसर विल come forward. And next thing is, while writing answers, what you can do is you can always make flow charts, you can always make graphs, you can always make diagrams, but do not overstuff your paper with them. Please make or draw them wherever they are required, not everywhere they are required. Also, what is very important is, do not jargonize your answers much. ज़्यादा हेवी वो कैब यूज़ करने से आंसर्स बेटर नहीं होते, दे बिकम कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. ट्राई टू बी सिंपल. Simplicity is the best solution for answer writing. So I think what needs to be done is be simple while you are writing answers. The more simple you are, the more marks you are going to fetch. Coming on to next thing is that especially in paper 1 and paper 2 of public administration, link these two papers. Wherever paper in paper 1 Indian administration is required, give the relevant examples, and wherever in paper 2 thinkers are required, pick up those thinkers and put them. This will give the evaluator a judgment that you have a sound knowledge of the whole subject, so it will help you there. Also, you can use the current events and all those instances that has happened and are linked to the topic or the question that has been asked wherever it is required. Now, coming on to the very important point, two very important points in answer writing is, especially in paper 1 in public administration, you need to decode the question. Decoding of the question is your 70% of solving an answer. So when you decode the question, you move forward to write that answer beautifully as well as specifically. आप bush के around घूमते नहीं हो. You do not beat around the bush, and you are writing what has been asked to you. So decoding a question in paper 1 is very important. Please read the question carefully. कभी कभार हम लोग सिर्फ एक reading में ही उसको judge करके लिखना शुरू कर देते हैं. That is not required. Understand the question, what it has asked, उसकी क्या requirements हैं, and answer accordingly. That will help. Trust me, you have a lot of time to complete all your answers in those 3 hours time. There is no hurry, because आप इतना practice कर चुके होते हो कि आप comfortable हो जाते हो in writing those 19 questions that have been asked to you. Do not worry about time, but give ample amount of thought and time in reading the question and knowing it correctly and answering it then. Also, next and the last point that I would suggest you is that please select the kind of questions that you are comfortable with especially in optionals, because in GS papers you do not get a choice, but in optionals you do get a choice to attempt the questions. So while attempting the question, please see that will I be able to write all these 3 questions correctly or not, because this happened with me. This is my own personal experience of this means that I had attempted one question, and मैं जब उसको लिख रही थी तो मुझे realize हुआ कि this is somewhere not going right. So I had to cut that question and I had to attempt another question instead. So doing such kind of thing is also a waste in the examination. A lot of time gets consumed. So what best you can do is, पहले ही आप analyze कर लीजिए कि आपको कौन से questions करने हैं और आपको कौन से questions आप अच्छे से लिख सकते हैं. Then attempt the paper. So these are a few things that you should keep in mind while solving questions for public administration optional or any other optional for that matter. Also, if you have any other queries or any specific queries related to anything about this examination, please feel to contact me. I'm there on Facebook, as well as my email address is ashimamahajan3@gmail.com. You can put down your queries there also, and I would be happy to help. And I had scored 294 in public administration. I had 134 in paper 1 and 160 in paper 2. So that was a score that I had got in this paper. Considering these marks, I would say that whatever I have shared with you that only I had applied in my papers as well, and I hope this helps you. Also, all the best to all of you. I hope that you all get through this exam with flying colors. Thank you.